does it defy the rules of a plot twist to tell you we're going to be talking about plot twists? Roll the intro. Hey guys, if you're not subscribed yet, you might want to do that. You can do that by clicking on the subscribe button down below. There's also a bell notification right beside it, and if you click that, you'll get notified every time we drop a brand new video. You can also hit that like button, or you can smash it or punch the crap out of it. You could karate chop it if you want to, but it might break your screen. I'm just saying, no liability here, okay? You're on your own with that one. Today, we're going to talk about plot twists. Now, plot twists can be fantastic if they're used properly. You can actually add a new sense of intrigue to your story. A plot twist can actually force a listener or a reader to completely re-examine the adventure they have just been on. A plot twist can give villains a new feel, and they can also make heroes seem more despicable. If you do it right, you can actually make those people that your reader and your listener absolutely hated turn into the most loved characters that you have in your arsenal of characters. They can actually add so much power to a story when the reader or the listener finds out about the hidden side, the things they didn't know about. And that's what a plot twist can do, is it can bring to light the things that the reader or the listener doesn't quite know about your characters, about the events that happened, or the overall story. Let's just be honest. A plot twist can actually make or break a story. So, before you jump off into the wild, wild world of plot twists, let's make sure you approach it cautiously. You know what you're doing before you jump in. Well, you're probably saying, okay, Brian, how do I use a plot twist? Well, a plot twist is something that generally comes around towards the end of the story. Now, I would say if we had to split it in quarters, if we split your entire story into quarters, generally the plot twist is going to drop in right in the third quarter. And that's because you've spent the first half of the book building up to the plot twist. Now, the plot twist is not the most important thing in your story, but if you are putting a plot twist in, everything builds to that plot twist, and then that plot twist will then open up the ending for you. So think of it like a funnel. It'll be everything builds into it, and then everything will narrow into that plot twist, and then everything will explode out from that plot twist. The plot twist is not something you should put in the beginning of your story, because that's not really a plot twist. You haven't even given your reader time to really dive into the plot. Sometimes you can even save your plot twist for the very freaking end. I've seen movies, I've read books, I've heard stories to where the plot twist isn't revealed until like the last freaking chapter. Sometimes, if you're writing a series of stories, a series of short stories, or a series of books, novels, novellas, whatever it is, if you're writing a series, you don't always have to put the plot twist even in the first book of the series or the first story of the series. For example, my series, I wrote a whole book and a novella before I threw in a plot twist. When you're writing series, you can add multiple plot twists. You don't just have to be stuck with one. All right, so plot twists are a great tool, but you gotta make sure you use them right. You can use a plot twist by building directly towards what is going to happen, but let's be crystal clear about something. You need to know that shit is coming. A plot twist absolutely has to come out of left field. No one can see it coming. You have to make sure that you have disguised your plot twist so freaking well that not even the most genuine super sleuth of super sleuths or person that has read 100 stories is going to see it coming. If people can predict a plot twist coming, then you lost that game. All right? As a reader, as a listener, you want to make sure that they are kept in suspense, constantly wondering what is going to happen next. And after a certain point, as people, we all begin to want to try and predict what's going to happen next. And that's why a plot twist is so goddamned effective, is because we're trying to predict what's going to happen next, and then it comes out of left field and nobody saw it coming, and you get blindsided by it, and it takes the entire story that you've read to this point and just flips it on its head. That's why it's so powerful. That's why you need to learn to use it. But let me add a caveat to that, an asterisk. The best way to write a plot twist is to know what it is before you start writing the story. Know that plot twist. You don't have to know every single detail that leads into that plot twist, but so long as you're aware that that plot twist is there and you are writing towards that, that will help you kind of better disguise the subtle clues that you needed to put in there. So you ever notice with any kind of plot twist, you never really know that the plot twist is coming on the first time around, and then on the second time around, you're catching extra things. You're just going, see, I knew that was going on because he said this later on in the story. The plot twist has to be known before you start writing the story. That way you can lay the subtle clues in as you go. Let me say that again. You need to know what is going to happen in the plot twist, when and where it comes in, so that way you can begin to lay the subtle clues into your story before you get there. If you don't lay the subtle clues, the plot twist is going to just screw with people's heads. They're not going to enjoy the story, and then by the time they get to the end of it, they're going to be like, WTF, what the fuck? Okay? Make sure that you're laying those clues in there. The first time around, the reader should seriously question the motives of the characters directly related to the plot twist. I mean, there's got to be a couple of what the hell are you doing moments in there. Why are you doing that? I don't get it, right? Because you kind of got to keep them off kilter, you know? I mean, you can guide them down a nice path and you can make them believe and love a character, but if you don't put a subtle clue here and there, something that makes the reader go, I don't, you know, this all makes sense, but this one thing doesn't make sense. If you don't put that in there, then your plot twist won't have a payoff, right? But by putting that one or two things in that character that it just kind of seem a little off or don't quite line up with the story so far, that's what really makes a plot twist pay off, okay? So make sure that you're adding just a couple of crazy things to your characters. The second time around, the reader should be able to follow the subtle clues, right? So if you do this right, it's like a 1-2 punch, okay? The first punch is that left jab, the one that just kind of stuns them, right? The plot twist comes and they're like, oh, snap, I didn't see that coming, right? And it catches them, and just catches them off guard, and it stuns them a little bit. But the second time around, that's when you really knock it out of the park, because then the reader or the listener begins to see all these other nuances and all these other traits and all these other actions and little subtle things that really, really drive that plot twist home. So it really is like a 1-2 combo, and you benefit twice from a well-executed plot twist. But don't make your plot twist minor, okay? Make it like a real what the fuck moment, okay? Make sure that the plot twist is so insane or so off the wall that the reader's gonna have to close the book, put the book down, and step back for a moment and go, wow, whoa, I did not see that coming. Whoa, I did not see that coming. That's what you want when the reader hits that plot twist. Okay, now, here's your words of caution. Do not play with the plot twist unless you have really, really thought it out. That is really super important, okay? If you don't know what your plot twist is gonna be, you shouldn't start writing. Because in all honesty, a plot twist can absolutely ruin a story if you screw it up. If you don't plan, if you don't lay the groundwork ahead of time, if you don't plant the seeds in the first 3/4 of the story, then the plot twist is not gonna make sense. So for those of you that are considering putting a plot twist into your story, start with the plot twist and work backwards, okay? Find out where you can actually add those little things in that'll make people question, but not really question. I mean, you want it to be kind of vaguely hinting that there's a plot twist coming. But just make sure that you know what it's going to be and you can adequately weave that plot twist into your story in both directions, both to the beginning. So from the plot twist back to the beginning, and make sure that you can weave those in from the plot twist until the end or the finale or before you continue in the next story. Okay. So I did a video about world building. Okay, so you should probably click that. That's probably actually going to be on the screen right now. And before you go and you click on this world building thing, you're going to see my pretty little face on the screen in a circle. You should click that. That's a subscribe button. That's going to get you access to all the stuff that we do. Well, I mean, you technically have access to it. That's not much of a plot twist, is it? Damn. Screwed that one up.